Hey, Stephan, what can you tell us about your car?
Well, the history of the car with me began in 1985 when I opened up a copy of Hemming's Motor News, of course, the Bible of antique cars, and I saw a split-window coupe for sale. But just coincidentally at the time, I figured I have to buy another muscle car, but I had a choice between a split-window coupe, an XKE Jag, and a 56 T-Bird. So I figured, well, I saw an ad for the 56 T-Bird horn ring, and it was $275 for the horn ring. And I heard the XKE was very temperamental with the carburetors, with the downdraft and all. And I figured, well, the split window's a Chevy. No matter what way you cut it, it's still a Chevrolet. So I went with that one. And I found out over the years now that I made a really great choice. It's an original automobile. It's black, and there were, 10,594 split window units manufactured in '63, and out of those, only 900 were black, Tuxedo black. So that's probably about 9% of the cars. When I bought the car, it was white, had plenty of paint chips on it, and if you went through some of the paint chips, you'd go through the blues and the silvers and the whatever else and the reds, but under all that chipping, you saw black. I verified that by looking below the glove box, because that's where the tag is. The ID tag is located under the glove box door. There it was, that code for Tuxedo black. So for years I always said, boy, I'll tell you, if I get the money, I'm going to make this thing original, put it back to its original color of Tuxedo black. And that's what I did 4 years ago. And black's a great color. It's probably one of the most beautiful colors, but it's tough to maintain because it shows the slightest superficial scratches and dirt and what have you. But it's probably worth the effort because I get more compliments on the black than I'd ever thought possible. This had the wheel covers, so I just left them. I restored them. The chrome has all been gone over. The hood grills, which are only 63 only, they're original GM parts. That's, you can spot a 63 really quick because in a Stingray, it's the only one that has hood grills, say. Original windshield wiper arms, original rearview mirror, original antenna style. You've got doorknobs, everything here is basically GM, except for a few pieces that you just cannot buy, and they were probably made in China, but very few pieces. And under the hood, the numbers match. Is a 327, 340 horse, and you can tell it's 340, from what I'm told, because the red line for a 340 on the speedometer is 6,300 revs, which this is. So you can look at the speedo and know what the original engine was in this car, and that was a 340. You pick up the hood on this car, and what you see is what you got in 1963. And that was the stipulation when I had the engine built by an engine builder with the NCRS, National Corvette Restorers Society. I said, you just make it as that engine came out of the factory in Michigan in '63. That's what I want. So he put everything back, original cam, you name it, he did it. The exhaust manifolds are all the correct numbers, the alternators the correct numbers, radiators the correct numbers. Something about the 340 horsepower engine. It had a very unique air cleaner. This is it. This was not on the 250 horse or the 300. Obviously, the fuel injection had its own unit on top. But the 340, the only one that had this particular air cleaner. This is an original GM made in '62 or '63 air cleaner. This is it. For racing purposes, GM put an extra pulley and belt. So if the main belt broke and you were racing, this would keep the water pump functioning so the car wouldn't overheat. GM had the shielding over everything that was electrical, in a sense that helped create the spark, so it wouldn't interfere with the radio. You have the coil and the distributor covered here, and if you look down on the side of the engine, you can see there's shielding over the spark plugs as well. And these are the original type valve covers. The reproduced valve covers had or even ones that maybe after the '63, maybe after the mid-year, they had a seam during the molding process, when they were put in a mold and the aluminum came out as a valve cover, they had a line down the Corvette. And I forget exactly where it went, but it had a molding line, a defect going down the valve cover. You want to always get for a 63 the valve covers without that defect. I found them and put them on. That running trim there on the side,
Yes, sir.
that's all GM original. That's no Chinese stuff here. This is all General Motors, all GM bumpers. Oh, one other unique thing about the 63.
Okay.
The fuel cap here, it was defective when GM put the original fuel cap on. It would break.
Really?
So I forget what exactly this is called. This is, you can see it had to be patched up because this is an original. They all broke like this. But I got an original and I patched it up because I wanted the original style. The original has this slider over here, okay?
Yes.
And then when they came up with the better design mid-year, let's say, I forget, it was just a simple spring load, clip here, went down. But this design, the defective design, has the slider pins here, the guides. But I wanted an original on there, so. This has electric windows. It's odd though, if you go to Google and you search out 1963 Corvette Coupe electric windows, AI comes back and says they were not available in 63. Well, this was available in 63, electric windows. 3,700 units had it. Under this seat, this is from the beginning of the production of 63, it's called the early model. From that to mid-year, GM put a storage area under the front seat here on the passenger side. And that I have. You reach under there, it's just a rectangular shaped indentation in the floor. Whatever you want to store, some tools there, jewelry, whatever you want to store, it's under there. Original dash. You can see I have the pad over the dash because this car was purchased for Arizona. So you want to keep the sun off the dash pad. These cars came with 4 different horsepower ratings. All they had was a 327 in that year. That's all it was offered. It was a 250 horse, 300, 340, and the 360. The 360 was the fuel injection. So this was the highest non-fuel injection horsepower rating for a 63 Vet. Irving air chute seat belts. It also has, if you notice, the original webbing. In 63, they had a 3-tier or arrangement, three lines, 1, 2, 3, had a very soft feel to it. This is the original seatbelt cloth used in a 63. The original 63 style floor shift, and you can see the electric windows. Again, fairly rare option. It was in about maybe 35% of the cars manufactured.